on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Kevin Checkwitz. This is the Kaged Review. I just got done finishing a buttload of uploading a bunch of recorded videos to my laptop. I got to get those rendered, and then they'll be out in the next day or two. For today, I have to catch up on wrestling for sure. I want to do The Walking Dead. And right now I'm going to do WWE SmackDown review for November 27th. And after Raw, like, anything would have been better. Like, literally anything would have been better. This is probably going to be more entertaining than Raw was, because Raw was horrible. So, you open up SmackDown, Paige brings out Becky Lynch, the most over star in the company. And you find out that she's either medically cleared or expects to be medically cleared by TLC. And she has a TLC match with Charlotte Flair. And then, in waves, the rest of the SmackDown Women's roster comes out and they're all, vying for their position, saying that they all deserve a chance to make themselves known. And so Paige decides to have a battle royal, and the winner of that battle royal is going to have the opportunity to join as a triple threat match to this Becky Lynch Charlotte Flair match. So it'll be a TLC triple threat. So that's kind of cool and kind of not at the same time. I like the fact that they're adding someone else besides Becky and Charlotte into a triple threat for the TLC title shot. I don't like that it's a battle royal again. It seems like they don't know what to do with the women's roster, or they don't care to plan. And it's like it's always a battle royal. And usually they're terrible. And we'll get into that battle royal here in just a few. So after that, you have a backstage segment with the Usos. They do a little promo. They're always very good at their promos. Then it cut back from commercial, and you have another backstage promo where the Babar, and specifically Cesaro, is kind of going off on Big Show for not being there for him last week when they lost. Big Show, he does the knockout punch to Cesaro. Sheamus is like, we don't need you. So it's an unceremonious splitting between Big Show and the Bar, which didn't really make a whole lot of sense, to be very honest. And then you get the Usos versus the Bar, which was a decent match. Anything that Usos does is going to be at least decent. I mean, they're very, very good. Very entertaining in the ring. The Usos pick up the win in a non-title bout, so you have to believe that's going to be the next feud. And then you get a backstage New Day Miz bit where the New Day is making fun of Miz and his loss last week with Shane McMahon against two nobodies. So that's going to set up a match for later, of course. And then you get an AJ Styles in-ring promo where he's talking about, Daniel Bryan and how Daniel kind of screwed him over, and this isn't over, basically. It was decent for what it was. Nothing special about it. Then you get a promo package for Lawler Sullivan. I do like the fact that they're giving these promo packages. He's a big guy. He looks good. It's kind of cool to see them actually putting up these packages for somebody coming up. Then you get Shinsuke Nakamura versus Rusev. That gets thrown out. The match never gets started. Rusev gets attacked coming into the ring. Shinsuke hits him with a couple of Kinshasas. Walks back up the ramp. It really doesn't do anything for either one of those guys. Rusev hasn't had a big spot in a while, and frankly, neither has Shinsuke. Shinsuke hasn't had a decent match other than with Seth Rollins in a while. So then you get a 20 years celebration for Jeff Hardy. Been in the company on and off for 20 years. And so they show all the highlights of his career, and everybody's like, literally the whole roster is out there to celebrate Jeff Hardy. He's like, this isn't a retirement speech. And then Samoa Joe breaks in and he says, yeah, but what about all those times you couldn't remember what you were even doing? Or, talking about his addiction problems and things like that. And there was a lot of reality to this, because in TNA, Samoa Joe and AJ Styles particularly had a lot to say about Jeff Hardy and the fact that he showed up too inebriated to even do his job at times. So it's one other case where, they're just mixing reality with what's going on there. And then you get New Day's Kofi Kingston versus The Miz. It's what you would expect. New Day kind of play around with The Miz. Eventually Kofi hits Trouble in Paradise, gets the win. Backstage, you see Orton He does a little promo, and then he does his promo in the ring. And the promo in the ring, it is basically his Legend Killer gimmick, and it's funny because even the crowd was chanting Legend Killer, and then Rey Mysterio comes out, and those two have a pretty big fight, and Randy Orton eventually gets the best of that. And you get backstage Miz Shane McMahon bit where Miz is asking Shane McMahon where he was, we're a team. Shane McMahon's like, we're not a team. And it was just kind of an awkward thing. I don't know. And then that comes to the main event. And it's the Battle Royal. Carmella, she comes out with R-Truth to start, and they do the whole little singing bit. And then you get Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Peyton Royce, and Billie Kay come out together. Zelina Vega, Lana, Asuka, Naomi. I'll be honest. I don't like these Battle Royals. Some of the girls are great. Couple of them, not so great. And it shows. It's chaotic. It has no real sense of timing. There's no storyline to it. There's no investment to it. And it's just a filler, honestly. I've never liked the Battle Royals. I think they could try to plan out something a lot better. Like, it's funny because they want the women's division to be equal to the men, but they don't treat it equal. You know? How many times have you seen a men's Battle Royal where the winner gets a shot at the WWE Championship besides the Royal Rumble? You don't see it that often. You see it a lot in the women's division because they just don't know what the fuck to do. Or they don't care to know. So, I really think that they screwed up with that. Thankfully, they did have a good winner. Asuka pulled out the win. And Zelina Vega was the first to go. I think Lana was the second. You know, they're kind of getting rid of the scraps. Peyton Royce, Billie Kay. You know, and so they left it with some of the decent wrestlers at the end. Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Asuka, Naomi. But it's like, why can't they be a little bit more creative? I mean, they have a creative team, but they don't have any creativity at all. So I'm a little bit disappointed that WWE just has a complete lack of effort. Like, I don't know why they don't really try to invest in these shows, because they have a core audience of about 2,000, or not 2,000, but 2 million people that'll tune in, and they'll watch every Raw and every SmackDown. But even those numbers are dwindling because they're just not putting in the effort to entertain people anymore. So they leave off the show with Asuka standing up on the ring buckles, and she's looking down at Becky and Charlotte, who were both at ringside. So, I mean, it was a decent show. It was better than Raw. You know, it was a very good beginning. I liked the intro that they did. Usos Bar was decent. You know, the Jeff Hardy bit, a little bit too real, I think, at times toward the end there with Samoa Joe. But it was cool. Shinsuke Nakamura, Rusev, I don't know, I'm kind of half and half with it. It was cool to see them both on TV again, but they weren't there for very long and they didn't do much. So, I think overall, I give it a 5 out of 10. I think it's a good halfway, I guess. I don't know. I think I might give it a 4 out of 10 because honestly, I think it's kind of a lack of effort and creativity for the Battle Royal at the end. I really do. So I'll say 4 out of 10. And the thing is, like, coming off of that Raw, like, they should have tried to, like, they knew that Raw was terrible. The backlash was immediate. And it just shows, man, they're not trying, they're not paying attention. So, I don't know, man, like, you know, I've realized that fans, I think today, aren't necessarily fans because of the product, but they're fans because they want to be fans of wrestling. They want to be fans of when it is cool, when it does have its great moments. Especially for some of the older cats that, you know, have been watching for years, they want to be fans because it was something really, really cool at some point. And now it's like you get moments every now and again, but the product itself is just plummeted. So, I don't know, man. It's something they're trying to course correct, but they have a long way to go. So ladies and gentlemen, that's where I'm at. 4 out of 10. I think they could have put more effort into it for sure. So let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackowitz. Kaged Nation out.